morning, everyone. I am Andrea Mendez-Barrutia, the Director of Community Engagement for the Hispanic Collaborative, and welcome to the Bank Roadshow. The purpose of the Bank Roadshow series is to support Milwaukee's banking, financial, and frontline entrepreneur support community with in-depth information on the entrepreneurial ecosystem, programs, and services in order to strengthen our community's existing and budding entrepreneurs. Today, our featured organization is WWBIC, and presenting will be Lily Alvarado and Samuel Ramirez. Lily will get started, and then we'll follow up with some Q&A after the presentation. Lily, welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here today. So, like Andrea said, Lily Alvarado from WWBIC, and I've been with WWBIC. I think it's going on to almost 10 years. So it's been quite the journey, and still really happy to work. So my position is program manager for bilingual education and outreach. And as a nonprofit, I hold a position that it's very hybrid. So I do a lot of outreach, but also working with the clients that need a loan. And today I will we'll talk a little bit about Don't Say No, Say WWBIC, especially partnering with banks. And then I also have my coworker, Sam. Sam, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Sam Ramirez. I'm the new bilingual loan officer here at WWBIC. And yeah, excited to obviously share some information today.
Gracias. Okay, so don't say no, say WWBIC. And I'm sorry, let me see. It's very touchy. Okay, so why do we partner with banks? So we always partner with banks and have been doing this for a long time, just because when clients come to the banks and the banks cannot help startups, or the client is in a situation where they cannot be helped financially, that's when we come in. So the banks like to use us as a resource. If they can't help their clients, they send them over to us so that we can provide alternative borrowing. So it's kind of like a win-win situation. With WWBIC, clients get technical assistance through the life of the loan, and Sam will go more into depth in regards to that. And then we do keep track of where our clients come from. So if let's say if it's a business that it already opened and they're doing business with US Bank, we want them to continue to do business with that bank. And we keep track. So they came to us for a loan, and after 3 to 4 years, we want them to go back because now they're going to be able to refinance at a lower rate. And then we don't want to keep the clients. We want them to eventually go back to where they came from, their bank institutions. So that's why it's a win-win situation. So mission and impact, and just a small note on the side, all the pictures that you see is clients, existing clients that work with us, and that we can share stories. So a little bit about WWBIC. It's a statewide economic development organization, like I said, nonprofit. We are celebrating this year 35 years of being in business, and we're across the entire state of Wisconsin. So we have offices in Madison, Racine, Kenosha, Appleton. We just opened in La Crosse. And for the first time, we're able to go into 2 different states with different programs. So I'll talk a little bit later in regards to these programs, which is BBAC, that we're able to go into Illinois and also into Minnesota. So we have done have local and regional, national, and international partnerships. So we've had the opportunity to go to other countries and show them the business model that WWBIC has. For example, I have had the opportunity to go into Mexico City and work with another nonprofit and show them, work with entrepreneurs, show them what WWBIC does. And they also had the opportunity to come here and see exactly what we're doing so that they can copy the model and be able to do it in other countries. Also Morocco, we've done the same thing. If you go into WWBIC, we have all like this display of all the flags from different countries that they've come so that they can copy that model that we have. So we're still very, we started emphasizing in women, but now that has changed. We help men, women, people of color, and we focus more on individuals of low income that want to start a business. So who we are, we're a lending innovative statewide economic development organization, putting dreams to work since 1987. And we care about the businesses that are having financial problems or that need education. Like I said, we help women, men, veterans, and then we're a lot now in the rural communities in upper Wisconsin. There's a lot of people that need help up there, and we're trying to focus in that as well. What we do, well, we open doors of opportunity. People that, especially during COVID, a lot of people think that we were struggling with clients, and yes, we were struggling, but because we had a lot of them. So during COVID, instead of like our work going down, it was crazy. It went up. So usually we do, just so that you get an idea, we do about 146 loans a year. We did 146 loans in 3 weeks. So I mean, it was really, really crazy during that time. So micro business, macro impact. Micro businesses comprise 35% of all businesses in Wisconsin. So about 462,000 employ large numbers of individuals. And we took this where it said if each micro business in the US would hire one additional employee, the nation would reach full employment. So during COVID, a lot of people were working from home, and then a lot of them got let go. So they took the opportunity, if they had the thought of starting a business or the dream, this is where they came in and said, you know what, now I'm gonna do it. So we still see a lot of clients starting their own businesses, and it continues. It seems like it's a trend right now. Everyone wants to start either a cleaning business or a food truck. It's very popular right now. So some of WWBIC's services, business training, micro and small business loans, one-on-one business technical assistance, financial wellness programs that we have. Just a snapshot of who we still help, right? So we still help more females than males. 70% are women, 63% are low and moderate income households. So 90% still in Milwaukee, and then 61% people of color. So as you can see, we're still focusing, and that's like our target audience that we have. Business training. So business training, we have over 400 workshops and events held statewide. We have, now that we're back, starting to get back to gatherings and all that, we have online, we have on-demand classes, and then we also have one-on-one. So if a client comes and needs one-on-one help, we do that as well. So some topics that we cover, it's business planning, marketing, financing, bookkeeping, technology, and personal finance as well. We're very hands-on. The way we work is we hire, or we have volunteers, and later on I will talk about volunteers just in case anyone wants to volunteer with WWBIC. The fees that we have are very minimal, and most of the times, you know, to be honest with you, I try to help my clients with that as well. If they do not have the money, I'm not shy to go ask for the money, and to go ask, if, you know, how can we help this person? And I think that's one of the things that makes a big difference with our Latino community, where many times, I mean, they're starting a business and they do not have the money. And I understand that we say, okay, if they get it for free, they're not gonna value it. But I guess that's where you gotta sit down and learn more about that person and create that relationship, because that's very important with our community. So of course, we speak Spanish at WWBIC, and we have a lot of our trainings in Spanish. The one-on-one business technical assistance for 2021, we did 24,725 hours. And then we had 5,273 jobs created or retained. The program's attendance, it was 5,413 individuals. So we do keep track of what we're doing, measurements in regards to how are we doing with our clients. And for the financial wellness, so for the WWBIC has financial wellness programs. So for example, the workshops like identity theft, credit repair, saving and investing, savings just in general. And then we have the Make Your Money Talk series. This program, Make Your Money Talk, I just want to tell you a little bit about this program. So when I came to WWBIC, there was only 2 classes in Spanish, and there was only 1 person that spoke Spanish. And when they hired me, of course, I started raising questions in regards to why there isn't more classes for our community. And they actually said, well, you know, if you want more classes, you do it. So then that's when I started recruiting volunteers, professional volunteers that would be able to teach these classes. And then I started developing curriculum for these classes. Something very important that for this class, Make Your Money Talk, this class is done in partnership with the housing authorities. So the clients save $500. They go through these trainings, and then WWBIC would give them $2,000, and the housing authorities would give them $4,000. So they would end up with $6,000 that they would be able to use for a down payment, like first-time home buyers down payment. And but you know, when I would attend, and that's another thing, like, it was a totally different program that WWBIC has, but I wanted to know what they did. So I started learning more about the program. And then that's when I started saying, okay, but there's really no Hispanics in this program. So what are we doing about that? And they said, well, you know, that's because, you know, Hispanics maybe don't need it. And I said, no, the need is out there. The problem is that a Hispanic is never going to go look for a place and help from the government. So they said, okay, I said, if I don't have money, if I lose my job, I'm not going to go to the government. I'm going to go to my brother, my sister, a family member. And so they said, okay, we're going to, what do you think we should do? And I said, well, if you take this little sentence right here that they need to be part of the housing authorities, then I can offer these programs. So they did. And sometimes that's why I said I'm not afraid to ask, because there's programs that we don't know. And sometimes I always say there's an exception to the rule. And so they were able to give me 35 accounts that I was able to offer to the Latino community, and they would be able to save their money and end up with this amount that would assist them in order for them to be able to buy their home. Or now they have changed it a little bit, where same thing, because we're like, okay, not everybody wants to buy a house, and especially, you know, they already have a home, but they can use this money to install new windows, to pay debt, to pay down, you know, their car payment, because at the end of the day, you know, this is going to assist the client to be in a better financial situation in order for them to continue going. And it doesn't have to be only about the business. So this is where WWBIC does a little bit more, and not only business related. Okay, so next we're going to go into the business loans, and Sam will explain a little bit about that. So Sam, just let me know when you want me to go into the next slide. We can hear you.
Saw that. Hi there. Okay, Sam Ramirez again. Just kind of going over the lending overview. So WWBIC, we do loans from anywhere from 1,000 to 250,000. Sometimes we will need to get an SBA guarantee. Usually it's over 100,000. So we do the SBA Community Advantage loans as well. So along with that, a lot of our fixed loan rates vary. It's between 8 to 10%. So if prime goes up, obviously rates are going to adjust. Terms are usually up to 10 years. The average term, again, 46 years, and it really depends on the loan size. I mean, sometimes, if you have, lower loan size and obviously, the person cash flows pretty well, they could obviously reduce the term. We could, adjust that as well. Same thing goes where, if they have, big $200,000 or $250,000 loan at that point, we can extend it as well. Along with the fixed loan rate, sometimes we do an interest only period, which it's sometimes a lot of it for startups. So anywhere between 3 to 6 months and sometimes even up to a year, depending on the loan size again. We could do like interest only where the customers only at that point can pay the interest at that point if they'd like. There is no prepayment penalties, so a lot of that stuff can help ramp up like the ramp up time for startups. A lot of the startups sometimes need that little extra extra relief, for a short amount of time. So we do like to borrow to owners that are involved with the business. Sometimes we don't really like to do the passive owners. Usually a lot of the passive owners are able to get conventional financing. Therefore, we like to make sure that the owners are, have their own like skin in the game and are involved in the business. And the funds, may be used for startup costs, inventory, equipment, business expansion, so working capital, business support. So a lot of that stuff could be used like, if you're looking to expand, knocking down walls, you're looking to add more space to like a restaurant or something. Obviously, a lot of the equipment, purchases and stuff. And a lot of that stuff as well should be, so like if you're a startup, if you should have this included in your business plan, and it should be detailed to where like, this is what I'm going to do for the, this is how much I'm paying for the oven range. This is how much I'm going to pay for whatever other equipments I have. So that should be listed into your business plan as well. And obviously you can always apply online and it is available in Spanish. A lot of our information is also at the WWBIC Loan Process A to Z workshop. So there are some classes, and again, if you need to take, like a small business plan or a small business plan class or anything like that. So applying for the WWBIC loan is pretty easy. There's an online application. You can obviously, to process and underwrite the loan request, we do need to have the major things to process a loan. We need to make sure we have a business plan. We need to make sure we have 3 years projections, and we need to make sure we have a cash flow statement of 12 months that must actually match your first year projections. Okay, so those are the main things that we need, and obviously as well as the personal information required from the borrower. So a lot of that personal information would be like a personal financial statement that includes any of the assets that you may have. So like if we're looking at, a lot of the SBA guarantees are going to look at assets. They're going to look at a lot of different things as well. So we need to make sure we have those assets, because if we have to collateralize anything, that asset information has to be inside, the loan. So we need to make sure, we have to look at that as an analysis, right? And actually look and see, how much are we going to be able to collateralize for this loan, opposed to how much we aren't going to have collateralized. Our loan review time says 5 to 9 weeks, so that's about right. It can take some time, because a lot of the times, especially when you're looking at startups, a lot of the startups don't have everything right away. So sometimes, we have to, do the, trying to keep up with the borrower and trying to make sure that they get the information into us as fast as we can. really, as from my experience right now, this is like the most time-consuming time is getting information from the borrowers. So it's got to be constant follow-up to get that stuff in. Because sometimes, you know, they're busy too, we're busy too, so we just got to try to find that ground and make it really, you know, get it really organized to be able to do that. So, and again, the borrowers do have access to technical assistance programs. So in all reality, the difference, a lot of the difference between us and the other lenders are that we're not just giving a loan, we're also giving them a small business consultant to guide them through these times, right? So through that term of the loan, you're going to have somebody there to like help you with, you know, forms or anything like that, that they may, you know, guide you in. And sometimes, you know, as a small business owner, you know, we're just letting you know that you're not alone. You have the support of WWBIC, you know, as well, not just with the small business consultant, but if you need to take some classes as well, you know, there are those coaching times, not just with your coaching visits with your small business consultant, but also, you know, you can set up time to take some classes as well. And so we do have a lot of promotional and networking opportunities, obviously, within WWBIC and within what we do. A lot of it is a referral source network. So a lot of the referrals that we do get from people are a lot of, you know, people as yourselves, like from bankers, you know, and all over the state. So it is definitely something, you know, we can fill that need, you know, instead of having to just decline someone. You know, you can, instead of saying no, obviously you can say, you know, hey, you know, we may not be able to do this, but I know WWBIC, you know, can help you out with this, you know, future endeavor that you have. Go to the next one. So our loan diversity, as of last year, it looks like we've had a lot of food-related services, and I think for the most part, you know, everyone likes foods. I don't think that should be as much of a surprise, but a lot of the manufacturing, healthcare, a lot of these other services, you know, a lot of the things that I'm seeing a lot as a loan officer is transportation right now with a huge, you know, supply and demand issue going on right now, and that supply chain issue. I mean, it's huge. I've probably have at least 4 different transportation trucking businesses in my loan pipeline right now. So I mean, that's a big thing, as well as healthcare and obviously transportation, arts, you know, kind of going down at the last ends of here. Professional services, they're on the lower part of it, on the end of the spectrum here, but definitely a lot of changing parts here. So okay. Great. So WWBIC's loan portfolio right now, I mean, we have 890 loans with about 610 borrowers. Now, the loan portfolio that we have, you know, right now, it looks like the business status of our loans closed are 79 existing, 21% of them are startups. And right now, I at least from my end of it, I do see a lot of startup businesses right now. So like what Lily was saying earlier, I mean, I think a lot of people, this pandemic has changed a lot of people's thinking in regards to work, right? And how you're going to have, you know, your lifestyle. And I think a lot of people are realizing like, you know what, I don't want to work for somebody, you know, I want to do my own thing. So I think this really shows that a lot of what, you know, our culture is going to is more or less small business, you know, and so it's definitely growing, and I don't see that stopping anytime soon. So I really see this really even going, you know, higher percentage this year as well. So lending impact. So our impact basically with our current portfolio is about 22.7 million. A lot of our borrowers, we have about 610. So we do have a lot at the moment. Loans closed 8.15 million, 210 loans. I mean, it's just it's amazing on what we have done in regards to lending, especially within the past year. So definitely. All right, underwriting. So this is the part where I basically come in as the underwriter. So, you know, we're looking at the loan size, we look at the interest rate, you know, obviously there's an application fee, there's $100 application fee, the credit policy. So really, when we underwrite something, it's more or less, I know in traditional ways, you know, a lot of the banks and credit unions do a lot of the credit, you know, there's a lot of credit risk rating, right? So basically it's credit score driven, right? We don't really derive our credit approval and stuff through the credit score. We see with the credit score, but we try to understand the story. I think everyone's credit's a story, right? Something happened here, you know, and you did great here. So, I mean, the things that we try to do is kind of bring it together, right? We don't really look at the score. We look at what happened, what can we explain, and how is this going to obviously, you know, is this going to replicate? Is this not going to replicate? Is this are they going to, you know, be able to go ahead and take a loan of this stature at this time? So we're looking at a lot of different things. And some of the things that you may not know, we do lend after 18 months after a bankruptcy. We also do ITIN loans, okay, up to 100,000. So those are the big things too right now that I think, you know, are going to hopefully help drive the Hispanic market in regards to that. So we're looking to obviously be able to try to, again, put things together. We're trying to approve things, not deny things. So a lot of the guidelines for underwriting, you know, obviously the capacity, the cash flow, the business debt service coverage. So basically, a lot of these, you know, maybe new terms to people, and again, this is kind of where I work in part. So the business debt service coverage, you know, you're talking about what the business, you know, as a whole, what they owe, right? So are they paying a lawyer all the time? Are they paying, you know, a marketing team? Are they paying an IT team? Are they paying, like, all of these? There's a lot of these expenses that businesses have on a month-to-month basis. You know, how much are they going to pay? They got their, you know, their lease and everything else, you know, and we come up with a number that's going to be able to be like, okay, so they can cash flow here. It looks like they're going to be able to make our payment, their payments, you know, and their continuing personal payments, right? So that's part of the global debt service coverage. So the whole thing, where we're looking at the personal and the business as a whole, and look at how much, okay, are they able to go through this next year with paying everything and, you know, and still cash flow, right? So it's a very fine line too, especially when you're talking with startups, because in startups, right, you don't have that historical, the historical values to go from, right? You don't have that 2 to 3 year tax returns that we have. So startups, it's really got a cash flow in order to really make it happen. And some of that cash flow that is included is the equity injection. So the equity injection basically is the money that you have put into the business. So, like, let's say if you're a startup, right, you're looking for a $100,000 loan, and let's say you're going to put in 40,000, right? So that is your equity injection into the loan. Okay, as a startup. Usually as an existing business, you're not going to need that equity injection because you've already put in a lot of money already into the business already after 2 years. But if you are a startup, you're going to need that equity injection. And some of that, it can depend, and it's going to depend on the loan amount, right? So, you know, usually it's anywhere between up to 5%, and for the SBA guarantees, you're looking at 10%. So you're going to have some kind of skin in the game in regards to going ahead and obviously going through underwriting. And the second part here is the collateral part. So the collateral, you know, we look at things. It's hard to sometimes take a straight shot into how collateral works, but sometimes we need to obviously make sure that the loan isn't as risky, right? So we need to collateralize something. So sometimes, you know, unfortunately, sometimes people don't have, you know, houses or something like that. So we do look at vehicles, you know, we do look at assets in regards to that. Actually, even right now, I have a gentleman who's starting a fractional CFO business, right? So it's a CFO that kind of helps out different businesses and the different, like, IT, HR, all these sorts of businesses. He's looking to start this business, but this business is really it's 1099, and it doesn't have a brick and mortar, right? So there's no equipment, there's no lease, there's no anything like that. So what do we have for collateral, right? Now we have to look at collateral. So now we looked at, he's got plenty of money in his business account. He's got, you know, 40, 80,000, whatever. We put that together. We're like, okay, let's use 30,000 for your liquid, and, you know, for basically for your to collateralize, and 10,000 you put down as part of the skin in the game of the loan. Well, at that point, now we've solved our collateral problem, right? Now we have a liquid funds, right, that we can put into an escrow account, so that at the end of the loan term, or maybe even when it gets to 30,000, boom, it's a wash. It pays off. You know what I mean? At that point, so we look at collateral different ways, right? And again, there's different businesses require different collateral. So a lot of the businesses that are like a lot of heavy inventory, supplies, all that kind of stuff, that stuff can, could be part of the collateral. But again, you have to look at every different business is different setup. So there's going to be different things to be able to collateralize. So we just have to try to find which way we can do that. And again, that goes with the assets too. A lot of that collateral too, if they have assets, they can go forward, but that's as much as I think. Am I doing the Kiva too?
No, I'm doing Kiva. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Any questions? I guess anybody have any dying questions for me? No.
Okay, so we also have Kiva in thank you, Sam, at WWBIC. And for those of you who are not familiar with Kiva, it's a crowdfunding platform that we have at WWBIC, and there's other organizations that assist clients. So many times clients come to us as wanting a loan, and it depends on how much the loan that they're looking for. Many times, if it's a very small loan, we just guide them to Kiva. Why? Because, there's zero interest, especially for a startup. I mean, it makes no sense for us to try to provide them a loan that they're not going to be able to pay. So I think one of the things is that we're always looking out for the client's best interest. And if the client's best interest is not with WWBIC, we're not going to tell them, yes, take this loan, no, we're looking out for their best interest. So Kiva leverages the internet and a worldwide network of partners, allowing individuals to lend as little as $25 to help create economic opportunities around the world. Right now for 2021, for Kiva, we did 741,500, which it was 103 loans. And the average size of the loan is like $7,000. So many clients of our clients go to Kiva because once they do have a loan with Kiva, then it's also a lot easier to have a loan with WWBIC. And then Kiva's statewide also. So here's just a little bit of information about the borrowers. And I'm not sure if there's someone is there someone in the group that doesn't know about Kiva, so that I can go more into depth in regards to Kiva, or are we pretty much familiar with Kiva?
I'm not too familiar with Kiva.
Okay, perfect. So then let me see if there's another slide. Nope. Okay, so Kiva, so the client, let's say if I have a client and they say, I want a $10,000 loan. So I'll say, okay, so what do you want it for? And then we start, I'll recommend for them to get a Kiva loan. The problem with that is that everything is through the internet. So many times they feel intimidated with that. And that's where we come in, and it's like, okay, how can we help you? I mean, many times my clients are very hands-on, where I need to sit with them. And many times I'll be like the one saying, okay, we're going to work on this. And so then you apply online, and there is a person at WWBIC that can assist with that. And once they apply online, they make a story of why they want this loan. And usually it has to be a story that it's gonna impact the communities around the business. So that's what they wanna see. Once they do that, they need to ask, and they approve the loan, or not the loan, the application. They need to ask 5 people to borrow them $25. So let's say if I want a loan and then I'll ask Andrea, can you borrow me $25? I'll ask Sam, can you borrow me $25? So once I do have those 5 people, then they open up the doors internationally so people can start borrowing them the money, and they see how it's growing. Once they reach the amount that they were authorized, they'll deposit the money into the client's account. No interest, no financials, no business plan, nothing, right? They do have to pay this money back, but like I said, no interest. So for me, and for a lot of our clients, that's why the numbers are so high. For a lot of our clients, it's best if they start with a loan like that, and because we know that eventually they're gonna come back for more. And by that time, they know that they need to pay this amount back. And, many times even $3,000 is a lot of money for a business owner if they don't have it.
Is this provided also for ITIN clients, or is it just
Yes.
social?
Nope, for ITIN clients as well. Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
And another partnership we have at WWBIC is VVOC. And with VVOC, that's where we're serving with Illinois and Minnesota. And these resources are for veterans. So anyone or veterans or their families. And anyone that wants to start a business that it's a vet, they get a lot of help. They get free workshops, they get lower interest rates because our interest rate is the same for everyone. So with WWBIC right now, we're at 9.25, the interest rate. And it's for everyone that wants a loan through WWBIC. Unless they're going through VVOC, then that's where we're able to, our interest, it might be a little bit lower because they have all these, they have classes like business tools to assist the veterans and their families also. So right now we're doing a lot of outreach with them in the state of Wisconsin and also in Minnesota. Illinois, I don't think we have that problem just because there are so many Hispanics out there. But where a lot of them, their family, like their wife, a parent wants to start a business, so they get the same benefits as the veteran does. And many of them come out or retire and they don't know what to do. They feel out of place. So this is giving them another option, and the help is there for them. So giving back. This is where I was talking about our volunteers. So we have over 400 individuals in the state of Wisconsin that assist us with the classes. So we have accountants, we have lawyers, a lot of volunteers that promote WWBIC and support WWBIC just because they believe in our mission that we're doing and assisting businesses. Marketing specialists, web developers, most of the classes that you see in our website will be provided for us from a professional that is volunteering for WWBIC. Let's see here. We have a lot of donors also. We work with a lot of donors. This last year, we had the opportunity of having a donor that he did not want his name to be revealed, but he provided us $180,000 that we were able to provide a grant of $10,000 to restaurants. So, and he didn't want to disclose that. So we do have a lot of people that want to give back and want to help these businesses. Oops. This is one of our clients, just a statement from Adelaida. I'm so thankful to have found WWBIC. You allow me to dream big and make my dream come true. Thank you for believing in my vision, my dream. She does nails. She does very, very fancy nails. And I think that is all that we have for you all. Just one other thing that I want to mention for the people that do get along with WWBIC, we have a portal. In this portal, we provide it has all kinds of information in regards to a business. I mean, in regards to business plan, videos, accounting, and it's, you know, it's accessible 24/7. And then we also work with, of course, the Hispanic Collaborative in partnership with Mercado MKE, and we will have someone in our office working with us as well. And we try to do partnerships with anyone and everyone that wants to partner up. I mean, same thing with Mexican Fiesta. We had the opportunity of provide grants in partnership with Fiesta for our Latino business owners, because during COVID, if you remember when it started, it was a different administration, and we were not able to provide, they were not able to get any loan relief because they had a business with an ITIN number. So they weren't able to apply for all these programs that the SBA had. So that's where, once again, I went asking, and I asked Wendy, I said, my clients are struggling. My clients have had no relief. And after bothering her for a while, she was able to get us some money, and we partner up with Fiesta Mexicana so that we would be able to provide our clients some kind of relief. And especially, our clients that have an ITIN number and that need more help, because they definitely don't know what to do, how to do it, what documents. So that's where we guide them, you know, hands-on.
Lily and Sam, thank you so much for this really informative presentation. And for those of you who may not be aware, Lily has received the Hispanic Woman of the Year Award from UMOS. And I just want to say, you do awesome work, Lily. Thank you. Just had to mention that for all the times you talked about advocating for community. So any other questions? I want to make sure that I know there's a few folks left. So if you have any questions, please let us know. Lydia? Oh, okay, sorry. I did want to ask, how are participants hearing about the Money Talks program with the Housing Authority? Do they have to be WWBIC clients, or can they come in for just that program? Because that's available to, you said, more than just business owners.
Yeah, we go to like the housing authorities at our events. We talk about it, just so that they know that there is other help out there. And it's not only in regards to the business, right? And then, so I have certain areas of also like the areas of like certain areas of the south side of Milwaukee where I'm able to provide some grants where the same thing, they save $500 and then we give them $2,000, and this is not with the housing authorities anymore. So we're able to do that like from 16th Street to 43rd Street, and then Lincoln Avenue to Bruce Street. That area, it's called Clark Square and Silver City. We're able to provide those grants in those areas.
Any other questions? I actually have another question. So about how many clients do you serve in a month? Or at any one time?
You know what? That's a good question. Because you mean as one person? So now we're very thankful that I have a team of 7 people that speak Spanish and that I lead. And in the past, like I said, it was just me. So now the need is greater and it's all over. And I'm thankful that I'm able to go to statewide. So anywhere in the state, I partner a lot. In fact, I have a class to teach today for the Mexican consulate for people that actually see the program from other parts of the state, and that they have the information. So yeah, you know what? I need to keep track of that. Like how many clients do I see a day? Because it's like, when I'm in the office, it's one after another, after another, after another, after another.
You're very busy.
Huge.
Yeah. Is that with the Mexican Consulate's Ventanilla program?
With, yeah. Mhm.
Okay, because they presented last month, so just curious.
Oh, good, good, good. Yeah, and I don't know if you've done it, but like I also go with them. Like we're gonna start that again with COVID. We'd stop doing it, but when they go to certain cities, I'll go with them. So during the time that they're processing their paperwork, I'll talk about WWBIC, and many of them, you know, want the information, and also just so that the communities know about our organization.
Great.
Mhm.
Any other questions? Okay, well, thank you again, Lily and Sam.
Yes, thank you for inviting us, Andrea.
Thank you
You're
very much
welcome.
for your time.
We
everyone.
appreciate your partnership. And everyone, please tune in next month. It'll be the third Tuesday of the month, which is Tuesday, May 17th, and we will have the Small Business Development Center at UW Milwaukee present.
Awesome.
you all.
Thank you.
Have a great day.